Welcome back to Mailbox Corner, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of shipping, receiving, and everything in between. I'm your host, Jake, and with me, as always, is the ever-curious Emily. How are you today, Emily?
I'm doing great, Jake. Excited as always to unravel another mystery of the postal world. What's on the agenda today?
Today, we're tackling a topic that's puzzled many of our listeners, the infamous origin scan status from UPS. Ever ordered something and found yourself constantly refreshing the tracking page only to see it stuck on origin scan?
Oh, absolutely. It's like watching paint dry, but less satisfying because at least the paint eventually dries. So, what exactly does origin scan mean, and why does it seem to be a black hole for packages sometimes?
Origin scan means that UPS has received the package from the sender and scanned it at the originating facility. It's essentially the starting pistol of your package's journey, indicating it's about to be in transit towards you.
That sounds straightforward enough. But if it's just the beginning, why do some packages seem to get stuck at this stage for days on end? What's holding them back from moving on to the next step?
Great question, Emily. There are actually several reasons why a package might linger on origin scan. For starters, backlogs are a common culprit, especially during peak times like Black Friday or Christmas. Thousands of packages are queued up, and if yours is at the back of the line, it could take a while before it even leaves the originating facility.
Makes sense. I guess it's a bit like being stuck in traffic. You're ready to go, but there's just too much ahead of you. But are backlogs the only reason for delays?
Not at all. Missed scans can also play a role. Sometimes, due to technical glitches or a deliberate decision by UPS staff to save time during busy periods, packages don't get scanned as they should. This can leave recipients in the dark, wondering if their package is still stuck at origin scan when it might actually be on its way.
That's got to be frustrating, thinking your package hasn't moved an inch, when in reality, it could be nearing your doorstep. Any other reasons for these delays?
Indeed, there are. Inclement weather conditions can halt the loading and transportation of packages, and in some cases, a package might be wrongly scanned as having an origin scan when UPS doesn't actually have the package yet, or it could be temporarily lost within their system.
Wow, it seems like there's a whole host of reasons why a package might be stuck on origin scan. But what can our listeners do if they find themselves in this situation?
First off, don't panic. There are steps you can take, like using third-party tracking sites for a more accurate status or contacting the sender if the package is past its estimated delivery date. These actions can often provide more clarity and help expedite the process.
That's reassuring to hear. It's good to know there are ways to get more information and possibly get things moving again. Thanks for shedding light on this, Jake.
Anytime, Emily. And to our listeners, have you ever experienced a package stuck on origin scan? We'd love to hear your stories and how you dealt with it. Share your experiences with us on social media or through our podcast platform.
It's fascinating how many variables can affect the journey of a package. It makes me wonder, with all these potential delays, how often do people actually experience issues with their packages getting stuck? Do we have any data on that?
That's a great question, Emily. While we don't have specific numbers, the surge in online shopping, especially around holidays, definitely increases the chances of these issues. It's a complex system, and sometimes things just get bottlenecked.
Right, it's like a domino effect. One small hiccup in the process can lead to a cascade of delays. But I'm curious, Jake, about the third-party tracking sites you mentioned. How reliable are they compared to the official UPS tracking?
They can be quite reliable. Sites like ParcelSap and 17Track tap into the same data sources as couriers, but might present the information in a more user-friendly way. Plus, they can offer insights or updates that the official tracking might miss, especially in cases of missed scans.
That sounds like a valuable resource for anyone anxiously waiting for a package. It's always good to have multiple tools at your disposal. Speaking of tools, contacting the sender seems like a straightforward step, but I imagine it can get complicated. What should our listeners keep in mind if they need to reach out to the sender?
Absolutely, Emily. When contacting the sender, it's important to be clear about the issue and what you're hoping to achieve, whether it's a replacement package, a refund, or just more information. Remember, the sender chose the courier service, so they have a responsibility to ensure your package arrives safely.
That makes sense. It's all about communication and setting clear expectations. Now, Jake, for our listeners who might be facing this origin scan limbo right now, what would be your top piece of advice to help them navigate through this frustrating situation?
Patience is key. But beyond that, make use of the tools available to you. Track your package through third-party sites, and don't hesitate to contact the sender if things seem amiss. Most importantly, remember that most packages do eventually find their way to their destination, even if they take a scenic route to get there.
I love that, a scenic route. It's a good reminder that, while it may be frustrating, there's usually a resolution in sight. Thanks for all the insights today, Jake. It's been enlightening to dive into the world of package tracking and understand a bit more about what happens behind the scenes.
My pleasure, Emily. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on this journey through the intricacies of shipping and receiving. Remember, if you've got questions or stories to share, we're all ears. Reach out on social media or through our podcast platform. We'd love to hear from you.